everybody, thank you so much for joining us online this morning. My name is Tony Martinez. I'm the student pastor at our That.Church Cabot campus, and I wanted to come to you today and talk about unfriending. And I believe that's a really important topic for us. For one, we live in a social media age, and so we have so many friends, they like online or whatever, and no matter how many friends you have, everybody has that one friend that they're just super annoying. Right? Now, you don't have to text them and say, hey, you're getting called out or anything on this video. You know who they are. But so we're like, you know what? I can't deal with them anymore. I'm going to unfriend, right? I'm going to unfriend that person. And it's super simple. But the thing about when we unfriend our somebody that we call our friend, we realize, or you can realize if you really think about it, is we're cheapening what the term friend even means. So what does it mean? Have you ever had that? Maybe you remove somebody and then they're just furious that you unfriended them from your social media account or whatever. And isn't that a weird thing to just get super irritated about or super mad about and just I'm not talking to them and I'm not talking to you anymore because I couldn't believe you would do that. And then I've got other friends that they unfriend and they use that button as a weapon. It's hey, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to unfriend you. And it's just so weird the way that we can just go back and forth and cheapen the way we treat people that we consider our friends. So what we want to do today is when we're talking about unfriending somebody, I think what we need to do is redefine what a friend is. We need to redefine what even a friend and maybe even an acquaintance. But I think it's essential for every follower of Christ. And so let's look at it. Now, we said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. If you show me your friends, I will show you your future. Proverbs 13:20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. That's Proverbs 13:20. I remember when I was still in school, when I got in trouble, I never got in trouble on my own. It was never just me going, oh, I'm going to go do something to get myself in trouble. What it usually was I was hanging out with friends who led me to make bad decisions. Maybe I was trying to impress them or make them laugh. Usually that's what it was with me. But it's never when I was by myself. I was oh, I've got a friend here and I want to impress them with something I'm going to do. I'm going to make them laugh. Never, ever by myself. But let's hear Proverbs also in 12:26. It says, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. You may meet your friends by chance, but you deepen them by choice. Let me say that again. You may meet your friends by chance, but you deepen them by choice. Yeah, you can't control everybody that you meet and that you run into. That's fine. But you can control the type of time that you spend with those people that maybe aren't being the best influences in your life. You know that you're spending time with the people that are doing some of the wrong things. And we need to be really, really careful about where we invest our time. So let's go through this. It's impossible to live the right life when you have the wrong friends. It's impossible to live the right life when you have the wrong friends. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Now, why does it say don't be misled? Because it's easy to be misled. In fact, you may even tuned out right now. You're just I'm not listening to this junk. This doesn't apply to me. You're being misled. Stop. Just don't let it do that. It does apply. And you may be thinking, if bad company corrupts good character, didn't Jesus hang out with sinners? Well, you know what? Yeah, he did. But the Bible also says in 2 Corinthians 6:14 to not be unequally yoked, to make sure that we're being attached to the people who are going to help us in life. Make sure we're not bonded to people who are dragging us down. We need to be the light of the world. So now, do we engage with sinners and try to reach people, or do we stay away from those sinners? The answer is yes to both of them. Now, how do we do that? Well, we love people equally, but we have to make sure that our hearts don't go cold so that we can still be the light in their life. We want to make sure that we're letting people in, but not letting them in so close that they lead us astray. The people in your inner circle, your closest friends, those who influence you the most, those need to be committed followers of Christ, because that's where you're going to get your motivation and your encouragement from. Your roots are going to grow deeper, and when they grow deeper, they'll grow broader. So you make sure that you've got people that are helping cultivate those roots so that they're growing and broadening in the right directions. Jesus loved everybody equally. He loved us all equally. He died for us all as individuals and equally because he loved us so much. But he didn't treat everyone equally. Even in his own apostles, he had his 12 disciples. So there were 12, but he spent more time with 3, Peter, James, and John, than the other 9. Those were like his inner circle and his group, his people that were really, really close to him. It says many times in the Bible that Jesus withdrew from the crowd to spend time with God. He loved the Pharisees, but he kept them at arm's length. There are some of you, maybe you have friends, maybe they're doing things that you know they're not supposed to be doing. They're drinking, they're smoking, they're doing drugs, they're doing things like that. We're not naive enough to think that you don't know people that are doing those types of things. Maybe somebody's like, every other word that comes out of their mouth is a cuss word. Maybe they're just really negative. Well, what you need to do is redefine your relationship with them and create some boundaries. Love everybody, but don't allow everyone to be really close to you. Don't allow everybody to be your inner friend group. The righteous choose carefully. So there are 2 things that I will not let my friends do, and I suggest you not let your friends do either. Number 1, I will not let my friends distract me from God's plan. I will not let my friends distract me from God's plan. It says in Matthew 16:23, Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind, the things of God, but things of men." And this is one of Jesus' closest friends. But Jesus has created boundaries, and he doesn't let Peter cross the line. He says, "Hey, I love you, Peter, but this is what God says, and you will not come against what God says." That was one of Jesus' boundaries. You need to have boundaries in your life too. Now, your friends might be really good people. They may be really nice. They may look good on the outside. Maybe to your parent, maybe your parents love them because they get good grades and they seem like the right kind of people. But you say, "Hey, I'm going to go. I can't hang out with you on Sunday morning because I go to church," and they get mad at you. Maybe you're trying to get away from materialistic things, and they always want to go shopping, or you want to invest. You want to spend some time in the Bible, and they want to go play basketball or whatever. Maybe you want to go. You have an SLS training on a Saturday morning, and you miss softball practice, and they get mad at you. Maybe it's time to redefine those relationships and set some boundaries and let them know in the front, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is my major goal in life. This is what I'm about." You need to redefine your relationships. Number 2, I will not let my friends continually tempt me to sin. In Genesis 39:12, the Potiphar's wife caught Joseph by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." And he left his cloak in her hand and ran out of the house. Y'all, Joseph ran. He fled. Just getting out, kicking his Crocs off, fled. He is gone. He's not having any time with her. He's not dealing with the sin she was trying to bring into his life. He's not, no, it doesn't even say he left. He fled. He just, out of the house. So if all your friends are sitting around, maybe they're sitting around gossiping, and it can be an awkward moment. And make it awkward, that's fine. But I guarantee it won't be awkward more than a couple of times, and they'll quit doing it. Like, if you cannot gossip in front of me. I'm not going to let you do that because I don't allow that in front of me, and it's not something that's healthy. So you need to set those boundaries. That's one of the personal boundaries that I have, and you need to set those boundaries as well. Whenever you become a new Christian or you want to get serious about your relationship with God, you're going to have to redefine your relationships in all of your inner groups because the common denominator in every single group you're a part of is sin. That's the one thing that every single one of your groups has in common. I will not let my friends distract me from God's plan, and I will not let my friends continually tempt me to sin. But there's also one thing I won't stop doing. I will not stop loving people with the unconditional love of Christ. I'm not going to do it, and you shouldn't either. You need to love people unconditionally. All this stuff that we've been going over today, we're not talking about going and judging your friends or saying that they're bad people or anything like that. We're saying that there are boundaries you personally need to set for you to have the healthiest walk with Jesus you can have. But what did Jesus tell us to do? He said, "A new command I give you. Love one another as I have loved you. You must love one another. And by this, everyone will know that you're my disciples, if you love one another." That's John 13:34 and 35. Jesus befriended the sinners. He was even friendly with the Pharisees as long as they allowed him to be. We love people where they are. It doesn't mean that we engage or accept everything that they do, but we love them and then we help them through their issues and things they're dealing with. So how do we reach people? Well, Jesus said right there, we reach people by loving one another. How do we love them? The way that Jesus did. That's what made it different. We love people the way that Jesus loved us. by building great friends around us that will help us grow stronger, who will encourage us to be the best versions of ourselves we could possibly be, to encourage us to grow in Christ and deepen that relationship, so that light that God has placed inside us can shine for others, and we can reach more people, and we can impact the world for Jesus' name. Y'all, we love y'all absolutely unconditionally. We've all got stuff. Bring it. We want to talk about it. We want to help you through it. We want to make sure that as we all grow together, that we're helping one another to do that with love and grace, and hey, with boundaries sometimes. Thank y'all for joining in this morning. We love y'all. We just thank you so much. Have a great day.